Hot take. I'm not a fan of Street Fighter 6 Season 1. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Street Fighter 6 as a game. Hell, it's very close to dethroning Third Strike for me as my #1 Street Fighter game. But there are aspects of Street Fighter 6 Season 1 I think were handled very poorly. For the past week or so, we talked about almost everything about Street Fighter 6 Season 2 so far. The potential issues with guest characters, why Capcom did what they did, and even which costumes should make a return. Well, today we're going to get a bit more critical with Street Fighter 6 and talk about a few things that Capcom needs to change in order for Season 2 to be better than Season 1. Street Fighter 6 has had a plethora of collaborations since the game's initial release, including everyone's favorite $20 Ninja Turtles collab. The idea of the collabs themselves are pretty cool. Baki, Spy X Family, Monster Hunter, even A6, all really cool on paper. The execution, however, is in all honesty laughable. The very most we've gotten for these collabs are avatar skins, and the 24 playable characters received absolutely nothing. When you look at games in other spaces and how they handle collabs, and despite their crazy price tags, you're at least getting something towards what most of the player base care about. Imagine with the Baki collab, Ryu got a Baki inspired skin and Akuma got a Yujiro inspired skin. The amount of people that would buy it, hell, I would buy it. Even if we only got collab colors, collabs need to be more worthwhile for the players. A lot of you guys in the comments of this particular video have been very vocal about this specific issue. Street Fighter 6 started off with 4 DLC characters spread out over the course of 9 to 12 months. And to say they were stretched too thin is an understatement. 4 characters a year is very rough, but I think fans were willing to endure if it meant fan favorite Street Fighter characters would show up. That was the case until guest characters were recently added to the mix. Not just 1, but 2. Fans were never upset with the idea of Terry Mai being in the game. People are upset about 4 slots only being available, and 2 out of those 4 slots went to guest characters. To alleviate this entire problem, adding an extra slot to the DLC rotation would instantly rectify issues regarding huge gaps in between content updates and a balance between fan favorites and guest characters. I'm personally not the biggest fan of battle passes, but if a game decides to do it, at least make it worth buying. The common battle pass structure usually involves very basic items like icons, stickers, voice lines, and then you have items most people would buy a battle pass for, such as crazy looking skins, new intros, and even skin recolors. Street Fighter 6's battle passes are very lackluster and embarrassing in comparison to the rest of the industry. The most valuable item in the battle passes were old character themes. Now that every character theme from almost every Street Fighter game is available in the shop, players lost even more incentive to purchase the battle passes.
I want you to have it.
I don't really want this.
If we had more battle passes catered to giving players more valuable items worth investing into, content gaps in between character releases wouldn't feel as bad. For those of you that don't know, Capcom waited almost an entire year to make any balance changes to Street Fighter 6, and honestly, I'm glad they did. I have a newfound respect for Capcom because they endured the constant complaints, stuck to their guns, and gathered enough info to make 2 patches that I'd argue shook the game up enough for the start of Season 2. However, let's not wait another year to patch the game again, please. I was originally on board with 1 patch a year for year 1, because when a game is brand new, I believe devs should allow a game to develop on its own for 6 to 8 months to fully understand what actually needs to change. Now, I don't want patches as often as Tekken, MK, and even Grand Blue. We'll get into why current era patching is horrible right now for fighting games in another video, but 3 to 5 months between patches I think would be perfect. Myself and many others already spoke on this before, but just in case Capcom is watching this video, add more costumes, please. When you really sit down and think about it, Street Fighter V had more skins in its first year than I've seen in any other fighting game. And when you compare that to what Street Fighter 6 got in its first year, it kind of makes you raise an eyebrow. Now, to play devil's advocate, I get it. Street Fighter 6 is Capcom's first ever fighting game in RE Engine. And if we're being real, the quality between SF5 skins and SF6s is like night and day. The clipping in Street Fighter V's costumes is Lord Jesus. So I understand the level of quality being put into these skins. Just maybe squeezing an extra 2 to 3 outfits a year, please. I swear, we'll thank y'all with Bison Bucks.
Of course!
Now, despite everything that I just said, I'm still really hyped and excited for Street Fighter 6 Season 2. We'll be playing Terry in a couple months. The devs already promised more content will be coming this season than before, and I honestly have faith that Capcom will improve in the aspects that I did mention in this video. It's just seeing what Capcom did with Street Fighter V and seeing how that game was at the start of its life cycle into what it wound up being after 5 years. I'm not gonna lie, I know they could do it. They got it in them. But I want to hear from y'all in the comment section. Let me know, do y'all agree with the issues that I listed? Are they even issues to begin with, or are there more issues that I didn't even list? In the meantime, I'm gonna get up out of here. Love every single one of y'all. Stay safe, peace, and love.